This house was really considered like a family house. Family members would come here, we would sleep in all the rooms, bring your friends. When my grandmother, Petronila, died, people stopped coming and the house just deteriorated. It became clear to me that yes, we are owners, but at some point we are already stewards. We're just here to take care of the house, to make sure it lasts for as long as it can.
My grandmother felt very at home in this house. She bloomed when she came here. The way she behaved towards this house gave us that sense of responsibility that we should take care of this house properly.
So we're all descended from this one Chinaman who left his village of Amtao in Fujian province in China and came over to the Philippines with his cousin, Si Se. His name was Si Kya. He decided to go to Vigan. He had a relative already living here. This relative, Jose de Caros, brokered his marriage with Petronila Singson Encarnacion. He had to be baptized Catholic and he had to Hispanize his name. He Hispanized his name to Si Kia, adding the U, the Spanish U, to the Chinese QIA. Vicente Siquia marries Petronila Singson Encarnacion and they have 5 children. Gregorio's the oldest son. The more important person in this story is really Gregorio because this is his house. So he married another Chinese mestiza, Stefania Angko. And it was the Angko family that gave the dowry of this house and the carriage. And so they started their family here. They had one son, Tomas. He married a Spanish mestiza, Concepcion Jimenez. They had Alicia, Petronila, Cesar, Juan, and Hector, and Margarita. And then they had 2 that died in infancy, Oscar and Estefania. My grandmother, Nila, is the storyteller of the family. So she kept telling us stories about her grandparents, about life in this house. A lot of it may be already legend from being passed on. My mom would also tell stories. It's pretty much alive. I mean, the narratives are always there.
Our house just looks like any other house in Vigan. There's a lot of history that goes with the house. When you come into the house, you have the main stairs to the right. That whole area there is where you will wait to be allowed to go up the stair. The back of the house is the stables and the well. The help lives somewhere there as well.
The little office downstairs is Gregorio's office. It was allowed him to see everything that was going on or what that was going in and out of the house. It was here where he would receive the produce, he would receive payments. He would have these transactions.
From the peephole, they will see if you're allowed to come up the stairs or not. If you're allowed to come up the stairs, then you went up this steep grand escalera. As you reached the top, there were sitting arrangements where you could wait for the master to receive you. And if you were maybe not very important, you stayed in that antesala, and that's where you were entertained. Most of the paintings in this house is made by a man called Respal, the understudy of Juan Luna. We have the Spolarium, the Blood Compact, Muerte de Cleopatra, and a few other morbid paintings done by Respal. Now, if you were a special visitor, VIP politician, you were led into the main sala, where you were entertained in a more luxurious setting. The sofa there has cushions and stuff like that. And where the maids could serve you from behind the volada section.
The volada is a gallery located behind the main sala where the servants would come and go without being heard or seen. At that time, the servants were not allowed to wear slippers. They had to walk around the house barefoot so they wouldn't be heard.
To the left was the master's bedroom. It was not very big, but it was big enough to fit his grand bed.
The centerpiece of the master's bedroom is really the bed. For my great-great-grandfather, Gregorio, it was very important that his bed was grand and in the European style. He was really already trying to suppress his Chinese heritage and become a citizen of Spain. To the right of the main living room is our favorite room, which was the room of our Mamang Conching, our great-grandmother. This is where we stayed. This was like the girls' room. We shared it with my grandmother. For me, that's my favorite. And the beds are so beautiful and beautifully carved.
And it's only lately when we got older that we knew the value of these atay beds. Atay's signature element of his bed is the kalabasa. There are small calabasas and the intricate wood carving that goes in it.
When you're small and you are able to sleep in this grand bed, as a child, you sit on it and your feet don't even touch the ground. You feel like a princess.
As you go out Mamang Conching's room, you enter this huge dining room with 2 sets of tables that sit 24 people. You had political meetings, parties.
This apparently was made because Tomas had decided to run for national office, and it was really to entertain large groups of people.
The house has what they call ventanillas, which are doors you can open at the bottom of the windowsill to add more ventilation and air to the house. One of the rooms near the dining room is the boys' room. There's a beautiful bed and the window opens to the courtyard. It was near the back staircase just in case they came home late.
The knocker is the hand of Fatima, supposed to ward off evil and protect the people behind the door. The 2 sisters, Alicia and Petronila, that was their room.
The girls' room is sandwiched between the master's room and the mayordoma's room so that they could be well guarded.
On the other side of the room is the room of the yaya. There's a door that separates her from the 2 girls. And it was part, I guess, of being very wealthy that you could afford a yaya to take care of your young daughters.
The patio of the house is quite unique because the water fountain is on the 2nd floor, which means they had to pump water up for the fountain to flow. It was part of the entertainment section when they had parties.
This house has actually been extended 3 times to accommodate 2 generations. One wing belonged to Gregorio, the other wing was a portion of Conching and Tomas. And one of the things that she requested was that it have a little chapel where she can pray every day and be near religious objects.
Our Mamang Conching tried to educate all their children. They brought them to Catholic schools. They tried to teach them the Spanish values of Catholicism and even the way they ate. They ate in European cutlery and all their children spoke Spanish already. But at the end of the day, the old man was buried the Chinese way. So the house will talk to you in Chinese and in Spanish. There's a lot of history that goes with the house. It starts off with Lolo Gregorio and his wife Estefania. The family and the wealth that they built through time. How they tried to mix their Chinese heritage with the Spanish culture that they had to adopt. They wanted to show a lot of their wealth by the way they decorated their house. But they also kept Chinese elements to remember where they came from. My Lolo Gregorio Siquia would be so proud of this house and the legacy he has left behind. I don't think he thought that his progeny would continue his legacy and make it the legacy of the family, of the town of Vigan, and of our country.